Are you running Facebook ads, but instead of hearing clicks, you're hearing crickets? Nothing's happening. Well, if you are, you're probably frustrated, and I'm here to give you 3 tips to ensure that people start clicking on your ads when you run your next campaign. Hey, did you know that 80% of the reason why someone clicks on an ad on Facebook or stops scrolling in their feed and stops and looks at an ad is because of the image? And so the image is the most important part of the ad. Second is the headline, but image is most important. So these 3 tips are all around your Facebook ad image. Okay, so the first tip is about contrast. So what you want to do with your image is turn up the contrast. Contrast kind of makes reds really red and blues really blue. It kind of takes away the dullness of a photo. And the reason you want that is you want your photo to kind of pop out of the page and stand out of the page. So I've got an example here. You can see that here's a photo that has just a normal photo. There's no contrast at all. And now we turn up the contrast. And you can see that it just pops. See, the first one is kind of dull, and the second one kind of pops out of the page. And when someone scrolls through your feed, you want that image to pop out of the page. So whether you're using Photoshop, which is quite complex to use, or you're using an image builder online like Snapper, then they normally have an option where you can turn up the contrast. So that's the first thing you need to do. Okay, so tip number 2 is use a headshot or a photo of a real person from the business looking at the camera, and preferably smiling. Who'd have thought? People on Facebook like to see smiling people. And it's true, because people go there to relax and chill out, and when you see a smiling person, they're happy, you kind of want to pay attention to that. And so I suggest you get lots of photos of people in your business, or the owner of the business, or family members, or clients, and kind of use those in your photography or your image of the Facebook ad. Now, you can do the same thing with stock images, and I know it's easier and cheaper, and that's definitely something you need to do if you don't have these photos of people in the business, but preferably a real person from the business, because the photos just look really, you know what I mean? Like when you have someone that's a model and they're dressed up and they're kind of looking like that, and people are just sick and tired of those photos. Like, we've seen so many of them. But when you have a real person looking, it just looks more authentic. And people go, oh, what is that? So that's tip number 2. Use picture of a real person looking at the camera with a smile on their face. Okay, so tip number 3 is all about finding an image that makes someone stop. It could be interesting, it could be comical, could be funny, it could be thought-provoking. But you've got to get an image that's a bit different. So for example, if you're advertising a CRM or a customer relationship management system, you know what salespeople use, like, you don't want to have someone sitting at a desk on a computer typing. Like, that's just boring. Like, I wouldn't slow down for that. What you want to have is potentially someone with a salesperson or a business person with a computer, like smashing the thing on the desk. Like, that's intriguing. Like, why is that guy smashing the computer? And that will make someone stop. And so you've got to think and be really creative with these images. You don't want to just use, so if you're doing an accounting, or just say you're a real estate agent, and you have a picture of a man and a wife shaking a real estate agent's hand, like, no one cares about that. Like, that is so boring. So you got to think out of the box, because on Facebook, people go there to be entertained. They go there to meet with friends. They don't go there to buy stuff. But if you can get their attention because you're intriguing, or you're entertaining, or you're thought-provoking, or the message or the image resonates with an experience they have, then they will stop and read the headline. So tip number 3 is use an image that's intriguing, that's funny, that's thought-provoking. So if you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel or like my page on Facebook, because I produce one video on Facebook ad strategy every single day. And if you have any questions, write them in the comments below, because I'll be there to answer them for you. And hopefully you'll subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.